ورسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول كل بدعة ضلالة.
The awaiq, ikhwan, or these things that prevent a student from learning, they are numerous, and there have been some of the people of knowledge of the past and of our era who have written in that regard. From the best of those books is the awaiq talab of our Sheikh Abdul Salam bin Burjis. The awaiq, or those things that prevent a person from studying, they may be things that are present prior to him even embarking upon study. And then there may be things that may come along while he is upon the path of his talab that stop him seeking knowledge and prevent him from continuing. And so you should pay attention to some of those things. From those things, ayyuhal ikhwah, prior to embarking upon study are characteristics such as al-kibr. And that oftentimes occurs with the kibar sin, those who are of age. Since they have passed the prime years of studying and of memorizing, when they come of age, when a man comes of age, he becomes mature. He now has family, he now has responsibilities. And the durus and the circles of knowledge are populated by ordinarily youngsters, or children who are, or individuals who are his children's age, some of his son's friends. And so for me to attend the dars alongside my son's friend, it's not going to happen. And so kibr prevents him from benefiting and from embarking upon the path of knowledge, or that the shaitan tells him and inspires him with the fact that he is not able to memorize any longer, he's not able to study, because he's become old and his brain cannot manage it. And so because of this, at my age, there's no embarking upon knowledge. I remember, when we used to recite to Sheikh Ubaidullah al-Afghani, there was an elderly man, 80 years old, who started to read with Sheikh Ubaidullah, 80 years old. And he said, even though I'm old, I want to memorize the Quran before I die. 80 years old. And I think he was either Afghani or Kurdi or one of those ethnicities. 80 years old. And he used to recite to Sheikh Ubaidullah daily. He memorized the Quran within 3 years. 80 sana. Elderly. Walk bent over. You don't even walk straight. 80 years old and memorized the Quran. Every single day, dedicated. Every single day until he memorized the Quran. And so it is not said that I'm of an age now. I'm 33. No, past it. Kids and family. This is from the wiswas of shaitan. Similarly, from the awaiq is that which is related to husnul niyyah wal qasd. That the good niyyah and qasd of an individual and his good intent is, number one, that which will grant him the tawfiq from Allah Azza wa Jal to study and to memorize and to benefit from his study. When a person embarks upon studying and he's sincere in that regard, and Allah Azza wa Jal sees his sincerity, Allah grants him tawfiq based upon this ikhlas and based upon this sincerity and based upon the fact that he is lillah and that his study is lillah. Allah Azza wa Jal grants him tawfiq that he doesn't grant to others who may be more intelligent than him, brighter than him, and may have a better memory generally. Similarly, ikhwan, that we are not familiar with how to study and the methodology of study, what to approach first, what to study first, what to put to memory, what to move on to, how to yatadarraj from one type of knowledge to another, or within a branch of knowledge. Yani because of the fact that he doesn't have the manhajiyat al-talab, he doesn't have the methodology of seeking knowledge, he gives up upon seeking knowledge. And what happens oftentimes with many of the tullab, particularly those who don't have a structured syllabus of study, is that he takes from one topic, it excites him, it's new to him, he starts reading around this topic, then he comes across another topic, he leaves that and he moves on to that. Then he gets a general overview, reads the fahras, reads the muqaddimah and the introduction, he gets a general overview of this topic, he reads a few pages into the book, then this book indicates or speaks about some other issue. And so he feels like, I need to know this. And so he leaves that and moves on to the next. And he continues in this path, in some instances for years, taking a piece from this, and a bit from that, and a piece from this, and a portion of that. And never really has any real ta'sil and any real strong roots and fundamentals and foundations in him seeking knowledge. He just had bits and bobs floating around in his head. And while he may be able and he may be familiar with the response to certain issues or with generally what was mentioned in those introductory few pages about such and such an issue, he doesn't really have any deep-rooted, grounded knowledge because the manhajiyah was incorrect. His method and his approach to study was incorrect. Likewise, from the affairs that prevent a person from seeking knowledge, ikhwan, is him being beguiled with the dunya. If there is anything that sends a person away from seeking knowledge, particularly in our time, is the pursuit of the dunya. And that pursuit of the dunya not only takes him away from seeking knowledge, but it likewise causes him to increase in faqr. He increases in poverty. As the Prophet ﷺ, he mentioned that whomsoever makes the akhirah his ham and his goal, Allah Azza wa Jal will grant him the akhirah, and the dunya will come to him wa hiya raghiba. The dunya will come to him whether it likes it or not. While the one who makes the dunya his goal, جَعَلَ اللَّهُ فَقْرَهُ بَيْنَ عَيْنَيْهِ, that Allah Azza wa Jal places his poverty between his eyes. As the Prophet ﷺ said, وَلَمْ يَأْتِهِ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَهُ. And nothing comes to him from the dunya other than that which Allah Azza wa Jal has written for him. And so, pursuit of the akhirah, which is in essence the pursuit of the talib ilm, is what will cause him to obtain knowledge, to obtain the dunya as well without seeking after it, and to grant him success in the akhirah while pursuing the dunya. And this is no doubt returns back to the promise and the threat of our enemy, the shaitan. الشيطان يعدكم الفقر. The shaitan, he threatens you with poverty. And so he says, if you don't do such and such, this and that's going to happen, and time's going to run away with you, and you're not going to be able to establish yourself, and you're not going to be able to buy a house, and you're not going to be able to, and how are you going to look after your family, and how. And so he's busied with pursuing the affairs of the dunya and abandons knowledge. No doubt, the affairs of the dunya, it is important that one pursues them and that one takes care of his responsibilities. As Allah Azza wa Jalla has mentioned, وَلَا تَنْسَ نَصِيبَكَ مِنَ الدُّنْيَا. And don't forget your portion of the dunya. But that should not, ikhwan, be to the detriment of seeking knowledge, to the detriment of you practicing your deen, which is oftentimes the imbalance that many people fall into. And so there is, in essence, the topic is it's a muhadhara, it is a lecture in and of itself. It is, in fact, a series of lectures. And I believe we read through al-awaiq some perhaps 2.5 decades ago. The awaiq al-talab were the things that prevent a person from seeking knowledge.